Just a little bit excited this morning. It's the Scottish road trip today. I am heading up to West Yorkshire to pick my friend up, and then we're going up to Aberdeen in Scotland. The reason for going is we're going to the Beach Ballroom, which is a beautiful Art Deco ballroom with a sprung dance floor, and it's a whole weekend of Northern Soul. Seems a bit mad to go all that way just to dance. Have done that before, but this time we're going to go wherever we go and see what we find on the way. So I hope you enjoy the journey, and we'll see what exciting things we get to see. Bye. So first stop was in Selkirk, the Scottish borders. We'd had some fabulous scenery on the way down, and it obviously was time for breakfast. So we stopped at the Peony Rose Coffee House, and they looked after us really well and made us some amazing fried bread. Wasn't on the menu, but when we asked, they went out of the way to do that for us. So that was great. And then wandering back to the car park, bearing in mind I have been to Selkirk quite a few times, I didn't even know that the old kirk was there. And this was what was once the kirk in the forest. And as you can see from this sign, the links with William Wallace. So I had a good wander around there, took a few photos, and really enjoyed finding this out, especially when I didn't know anything about it previously. After a very enjoyable stop in Selkirk, it was time to get back on the road. And after great scenery and a really easy journey, suddenly brown signs were appearing that said Rosslyn Chapel. And me being me, I've always wanted to go there. In fact, I've wanted to go there for over 20 years. The Da Vinci Code is famous for being part of that, being filmed there. And it was just one of those things. So we stopped. And very, very luckily, I didn't realise you're meant to pre-book tickets, that they managed to squeeze us in within an hour. So I was very excited about that. They have a lovely coffee shop there where you can get food, a little restaurant. So it was easy to while away the hour we were waiting. I'm so glad we got there when we did, because 3 coaches turned up afterwards. I couldn't believe the amount of people. So it's time slots when you go to look round. But believe me, it's well worth having a look. The guides were really, really helpful, because there's an awful lot of people and it gets very, very crowded inside. Bearing in mind we'd gone midweek, I was still shocked by how many people were there. So when you're looking around the outside, you can take as many photographs as you want, but once you get inside, photography is not allowed. So when you do see interior pictures, those are ones that I've got from the official sources online. What you'll see, there's lots and lots of gaps on the outside where statues would have been. Nobody knows where they've gone, which is a real shame. But I think the thing that really stood out for me from the outside was knowing that this part was just a tiny bit. This was just going to be the chancel of what was going to be a huge cathedral. So the intricacy and the work that's been carried out is absolutely amazing. One of the standout stories that I liked was about the master mason. He'd received from the founder the model of a pillar of exquisite workmanship and design, but he was a bit worried about carrying it out, and he went to Rome to learn and see how the originals had been done there. While he was away, an apprentice had a dream that he'd finished the pillar, and he actually set to work and carried out the design as it now stands. This is what you can see in the photo here, and it was utterly amazing, the workmanship. But the master mason, on his return, finding out that his pupil had done it, was so angered and so envious of the amazing work he'd done that he actually struck the lad with his mallet and killed him. So there is 2 statues of the heads of the boy that was killed and his mother looking down, and then there's a picture actually of the master mason. So he's got to look at that pillar for can't say it, forever. So yeah, that's his penance for the evil deed that he did. So this is down in the crypt now, which is the part that's the most famous from the Da Vinci Code. And it really was quite atmospheric, and it was quite nice to get down the steps and away from the main bustle of people. It's interesting that being a crypt, it's not actually underground, because the back of the chapel is where the land drops away down a steep hill. So actually when you come out there, you can actually see the roof of the crypt. So yeah, it wasn't kind of like I'd pictured it from the film, but it was still really fascinating and is a really atmospheric place to visit. So finally, my tips. If you're visiting the Rosslyn chapel, book a ticket online so you're guaranteed you're going to get in, because I didn't realise how busy it would be. And just before the talks start, I would go and get yourself a seat, because it's a brilliant talk. It's well worth listening to, but it's certainly nice to be able to sit down. So there'll be more of the road trip following next Sunday, and I hope you'll join me then. Thank you.